Hey guys, Brendan Wenzel here, sitting in my buddy Chris's apartment here in Costa Rica, and I'm making this video tonight at about midnight because we were sitting here talking about a few different events that changed our lives, and one of them was a pretty powerful event in my life that I just felt like I needed to make a video and share with you guys because I want you to know who I am, and I want you to know about some of the events in my life that have changed me and created my personality and created who I am inside. And so this story is a story about my mom and my dad. And my mom and my dad got divorced when I was about 10 years old, and it was probably one of the hardest times in my life to have to get through. And it was a very weird time in my life because I didn't fully understand what was going on. I still remember the day that I was with my aunt and we were sitting in the back of her station wagon driving by the house, and my dad was basically packing up his car with all his stuff. And I was used to my dad packing his car because he would go on sales trips, but this was different because he was packing a lot of things that I would not expect him to pack for a sales trip. And so I got home and found out what was actually going on was that he was leaving and wasn't coming back. And so what I kind of want to talk about a little bit is about, kind of like what led up to it and what happened and how it really affected me and carried over with me. And so what happened was for a while they argued a lot. And what I really think happened, and now I see it more, is that I really think they just grew apart. And I know this is going to be hard for my mom to hear, and I'm sure she'll eventually watch this video. But I think what happened was really my mom's attitude towards life was a lot different than my dad's. And my dad was a salesman, so he did a lot of personal growth stuff and a lot of self-development and tried to grow as a person, so that, because that's what salesmen do. Salesmen have to grow as people. They have to be better and better and better, because that's what helps them make more sales, is being better with other people and being a better person themselves. And so my mom, she's more of like she's just happy being who she is, and she's like, she doesn't really care to grow. She doesn't really care to do the kind of things that my dad wants to do, and she didn't want to grow with my dad. And so something I was talking about the other day with some friends was that I think one of the biggest reasons people grow apart is because one person stays the same while the other one grows, and then there they go, growing apart. And so I think that's really the root cause of it all. And the effects of that were a ton of arguing, which, I would be up at night for hours listening to them just argue about nothing and just yell at each other so violently that I would be scared. And I would have to bang on the wall in order to get them to stop arguing. And it was more about protecting my little brother and my little sister from having to hear it, because I knew it would hurt them, and I didn't want them to be hurt. And so it forced me to grow up a little bit younger than I probably wanted to. But it also I think it affected the way that I view relationships and the way that I view love, because it made me not really want to be in love. It made me really not to want to be in a relationship, because why would I want to be in a relationship when really, in my eyes, everybody who gets in a relationship is going to get hurt? And so I carried that baggage with me a lot, and it's something that always came up with my therapist, especially whenever we talked about relationships, because it was just something that always stayed there. And so I feel like I've started to kind of work myself through that and work myself out of that feeling, and started to really give relationships a chance and give love a chance, because I'm starting to realize that it doesn't have to be the way they were. If I can find somebody who is going to grow with me and help me be a better person and want to travel with me and want to do the things that I want to do in my life and grow with me in my life, then it can work. It doesn't have to be the way that they had it. But and that's really my intention with this, is that I want you guys to understand that you have to grow with your significant other. You have to grow in a relationship with that other person. You can't just watch them go through all these development stages and just expect that you're going to be right there with them, because they're going to grow past you. They're going to look back at you and think, why are they not caring? Why are they not trying to develop themselves with me? And it's going to create a divide in the relationship, and then you'll start to feel that growing apart. So while like in the beginning you might be happy to see the other person growing, in the end they're going to be sad that you didn't decide to grow with them. So that's really my biggest intention with this. But my second biggest intention with this is that I want to share who I am with you, because I want you to know who I am. The same way that I want you to share who you are with me. There's a few of you guys that work with me out there that I want to know who you are. You might be worried about sharing personal stories like the one I just shared, but you know, that's what sets you apart, and that's what we want to know. We want to know who you are. That's what social media is all about. Connecting with people on further levels than just what the latest political news is or what some funny meme is. Like, I want to know who you are. I want to know what made you who you are. And that's why I'm making this, is to encourage you also to share that story. The same way that I just shared this story with you, even though it is extremely personal and it really brings back a lot of bad memories, but it's also, you know, like I said, who I am. Like, that is what created my personality, and it is what created me as a whole. And so I'm really, really looking forward to talking to you guys again soon. I have a few more stories for you that I want to share over the next few days. A couple of them is going to take me a little bit of time to work up the courage to share, because it's story. One of them is just a story that I don't even know how to explain what it did to me. It was the worst experience in my entire life, and I'll never ever hopefully have to experience anything like that kind of pain again. But yeah, so I really look forward to talking to you guys again soon.